Continuing with the blend shapes here, I'm going to create some blend shapes for the brows. Usually in the brows, we want the brows raising up and lowering down, and also splitting them like the inner part of the brow and the outer part of the brow. In this case of this character, I'm not quite sure if only the brows should move or also the geometry underneath. So I'm going to try to move the geometry underneath also. And I'm going to try to drive with that the blend shapes for this other geometry, because the brows are a different geometry, right? So let me start here. And first I did a copy of the head, and I'm going to do a copy of the brows. And I'm going to work with these two geometries. These two geometries are the only ones that I'm going to modify. In this case, this one I'm going to call it character, I guess. And this one was the head, the original head. Oh, I had already a character, that's why. Anyway, and this one I'm going to call it eyebrows. Usually I will use simple names for the blend shapes because they are going to be used in the blend shape editor, and it's easier to have short names rather than a full nomenclature with very long names. Anyway, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to modify these and make the brows up. So I'm going to call these brows up. I want to modify this geometry and affect this other geometry while doing it. So in order to do that, right now, if I select a vertex on this one and I try to edit or modify it, it's not moving at all the brows. But what I'm going to do is I am going to go to I'm going to select this geometry, and I'm going to apply a deformer here in the deformer, and the deformer that I'm going to be using, it's called proximity wrap. The proximity wrap, it's going to make this geo move based on a driver geometry. Once I apply the deformer, it's here. I need to look at it in the attribute editor. So I'm going to open the attribute editor, look for the proximity wrap, which I have here. And now it's a little bit complicated because I need to click this button and add selected object as driver. But of course, right now I have selected this object, and the one that I want as driver is this one. But in the moment when I select this one, the driver editor will disappear. So what I need to do is select the brows, select the proximity wrap, and click this button on top. This button, it's going to lock the position, or it's going to lock this window, this panel in the attribute editor. So even if I select something else, it still remains there. So I'm going to select now the geometry, and I'm going to add selected as driver. Once I did that, I can unpin this, and now if I select this geometry and I move it and I deform it, it's going to deform these geos. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to select it and being able to deform it so it deforms the geo underneath. That's how I prepare the geometry to start doing this blend shape for the brows.